Hey guys, welcome back. JR Wise here with the Journey of Weight Loss. I've got a few topics I want to talk about and a public service announcement. I'm sure you can probably see what I'm going to talk about on my face at the moment. But first, this video is brought to you by Emmy. Emmy has been around for decades. They've proven themselves very responsible, dedicated, just all around top notch. And if you didn't realize what I'm talking about me. So if you like that, like, share, and subscribe. Stupid. So as you can see, I have a terrible sunburn on my face. And this is with sunblock, by the way. But I made the mistake. I didn't reapply halfway through like I typically do. I normally come back to my house, get a drink of water, and spritz on some more sunblock. And I didn't do that today, and I'm paying the price. And this does not feel good at all. So, guys, wear your sunblock. So, all right. I wanted to talk to you about something that happened years ago, but I just saw a video on it because I don't stay up with the times. I have been lately since I've been walking. I'm watching more and more YouTube stuff, and I saw this on Law and Crime, and it has to do with this lady named Miss Lorenzo, I think her name is, and a group of teenage girls. Miss Lorenzo had gone out to dinner with her boyfriend and her son. And it just happened to be like graduation night for the high schoolers, and a group of young girls came in, and one of them in particular was wearing a short skirt, and her son was looking over at it, and somebody else waiting at a table was looking over at her, and Miss Lorenzo proceeded to, not mind her business and went over and started talking to this girl about the length of her skirt, which I don't condone. Mind your business. That's as far as I'm concerned. Just, it's not you. Who cares? If somebody has a problem with it, I'm sure the establishment would have addressed it and asked her to change or something. Just don't get involved. So Miss Lorenzo decides to take care of this herself and pull the young lady's skirt down, which you just don't do. People have an expectation of privacy, and they expect not to be touched in public. And she put her hands on her, and people got videos of it, and next thing you know, it's on the internet, and they found her name, Miss Lorenzo's name, and she started getting bombarded with like messages on TikTok and X or YouTube, and I don't know, Instagram. So she got all upset, got her feelings hurt again, and went to the police department to report what was going on. And the cop saw the video. He got the security tape, and he's like, I just can't understand what you were thinking. You walked over and talked to her, and then you proceed to put your hands on her. And he explained to her that she could be facing assault charges, I think, or something along those lines. And he told her, if she comes down here and reports this, you're going to be in trouble. But she couldn't face the facts that she was the one in the wrong, and she could have just left the whole thing alone and gone about her business. And who knows if the girl would have reported her or not? I don't know. But the fact is, the young lady that was touched by Miss Lorenzo did come down there and proceeded to press charges. So Miss Lorenzo comes back down to the sheriff's office. And you could just tell she thought that she was in the right here for this whole thing, and I don't understand how you can think you are right. I don't understand where the disconnect is. And we see these crazy Karen videos all the time, and they're just with cell phones and security footage, they're just becoming more and more popular. And I just want everybody to know, be careful before you act. Think twice. I said this in a previous video where a person unfortunately passed away because they didn't think twice before they pressed the issue. And I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm just saying, be cautious. Nowadays, there's always cameras running. I mean, unless you're out in the middle of nowhere, 9 out of 10 times you got a camera on you. So just be cautious, guys. So enough about ranting about being cautious, but wear sunblock, please. Look at this. This does not feel good. Look, oh gosh, ow, it doesn't feel good. I put aloe vera on already, but I think I'm gonna have to reapply that too. So the next video I want to talk to you guys about, I saw on Clearly Established, and it has to do with another sober DUI arrest. Not just one, not just two, not just three, 11 of them that they've proven right now, and this happened in Colorado. I think it was Fort Collins, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And the worst part about it is it has to do with the Good Samaritan. I'm going to talk to you about two incidents. The first one has to do with a Good Samaritan that was driving down the road with his two daughters, and he witnessed a car accident. And what did he do? He pulled over, got out, and assisted. He had medical training, and he was doing the right thing. And the police showed up, and they were doing their whatnot, and he just was standing to the side. Another police officer showed up. Well, it's the Fort Collins DUI guy or cop. Well, guess what? He goes over to this Good Samaritan and starts talking to him and said he smelled alcohol on him. And the young man was up front and said, yeah, I had a couple beers earlier in the day, hours ago. He had 2 beers at lunch or something like that, and it was like 5 o'clock in the evening. And he admitted to having a drink. So he immediately asked, I'd like to do a breathalyzer. Well, the cop didn't want to do that. He said, what we'll do is we'll have you do the FSTs, the field sobriety test. Well, lo and behold, as I've told you guys before, those are just a cop's opinion on how you performed. He ended up getting arrested on the spot. Not only did he get arrested and charged with a DUI, the cop also charged him for endangering his 2 underage daughters in the car. So the poor guy had to get Child Protective Services involved. He had to do weekly urinalysis and stuff and all this until his blood results came back, which exonerated him from the DUI. Well, it's insane to me. So what I want to say here is, if you get pulled over by the police, or if you're getting talked to by the police, be very cautious on what you say. Don't give them any more than you need to. And I've told you guys before, I am not anti-police, but you hear about these incidences happening day in and day out, where somebody is getting falsely arrested, or they're getting charged with a DUI that they were innocent with, on. So another incident happened where a guy was involved in a single car accident. He ran off the road. He admitted to texting, and that's what distracted him, or he admitted to phone use, I should say, and he ran off the road and crashed his Tesla. The same cop gets there and immediately said he smelled alcohol on him, or suspected him driving under the influence, and has him do the field sobriety test. And again, he said, you didn't pass. So the guy got locked up. He was on probation, and that's why he kept telling the cops, I don't participate in any drugs or alcohol because I'm on probation for a previous DUI, and I've turned a leaf, and I'm trying to get my life together, and this is an unfortunate accident. Well, lo and behold, they lock him up without the breathalyzer, with the field sobriety test only, and again, the blood test exonerated him. Well, come to find out, they did some digging on this cop, and they were able to they found 11 DUI arrests that he made that were false, where the blood test exonerated him. And they're still looking, and they suspect that there may be upwards of like 60, and this is from one police officer. And that is very worrisome. I mean, I've told you guys before, these police officers need to face accountability, and he didn't face accountability for what he did to these poor people, and he turned their lives upside down. So, long story short, the DA actually refused to take any more DUI cases from this police officer because so many of them had been, exonerated. And they started digging, and they were investigating him, and they were going to terminate him. But guess what? He retired a day before his termination was to take place. So he must have known what was coming. He was tipped off, and that's just not right. And I don't know if they're going to pursue charges against him in the long run. It doesn't sound like it is, since they just let him retire or resign. But the Good Samaritan took it to court and actually won a $500,000 settlement because the cop just turned his life upside down, and there was no probable cause to begin with. He was not driving at the time the cops said, I smell alcohol on you, but he admitted to stopping, and he also admitted to having 2 beers. But it was fabricated that he smelled alcohol because his blood test proved him innocent. And if they had just done a breathalyzer then and there, none of this would have happened. But he wanted to get that arrest because there are incentives to making numerous DUI arrests. And I believe that the incentives need to be just taken away. Don't tell a cop, yeah, you're going to get a promotion if you get 10 DUI arrests this year or this month. You'll get I don't know if they get bonuses or not, but I know there's incentives with promotions and awards and stuff like that. I'm a firm believer of not drinking and driving. I don't drink myself, and that's just a life choice that I made years ago. I've been sober for 12 years now, so I'm proud of that. And now I'm trying to get thin, because I got fat after I quit drinking. I don't know if the two are related or not, but anyways, I'm against drinking and driving, and I'm not anti-police, but I am pro accountability, and I cannot stand the fact that I hear that these poor people get their lives just ruined because a cop has an incentive. And the FSTs are just a thing of the past. Every police officer should have a breathalyzer with them at all times to prove whether they have been drinking or not. And I've told you guys before, in Europe they have drug recognition tests that just right on the tongue. And I know that that's kind of a because of the DNA thing with your saliva, and I think that's why they haven't introduced them in the U.S. yet. But I feel like they should be allowed because it would prevent things like this from happening. And I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just giving you guys my opinion, and I want your thoughts on the matter. And I want this to reach everybody that it can, because the FSTs are a thing of the past. They just need to go away. And my thinking on the matter is, okay, if somebody is clearly under the influence of something or they've had an accident, you give them a breathalyzer. If they pass that, then you don't have a problem. But if if they pass the test and you still suspect them of, there's got to be probable cause, and I don't feel like the FSTs are enough for probable cause. So anyhow, the other guy that was on probation, he filed a lawsuit too, and I believe there's 7 more lawsuits that have been filed against this one police officer. But the gentleman on probation, he unfortunately lost because he admitted to looking down at his phone, and apparently that gave them enough probable cause to perform the FSTs and arrest him. I don't know how that works, but apparently it did for him, or it did with him, I should say. And like I said, I told you guys before, I don't think this is right, and I'd love to see change happen, and I'd love to see these videos reach enough people to where change is going to happen. So, and don't mind the paint up there. I've been doing this for a while, and I'm moving slow at it. So I'll get it done one day, within the next year, I promise. Alrighty, guys. Let me know your thoughts on everything. Like I said, the Lorenzo lady, she should have never touched that girl. I just can't believe somebody would do that. It baffled me. I know it's an older story. And then the 2 false DUI arrests that I spoke about, I'm hoping they release more information on the other ones. I think I believe they said there was an additional 9 more. I know they said 11. I don't remember if they said there was the 2 and then there was 11 more, or if there was 2 and 9 more. So, but you can go check out that story on Clearly Established, and let me know. Do you guys agree with my proposal on the breathalyzer, and then if they pass that, then you have to continue investigating until you get probable cause enough to take them for a blood test. I don't feel like FSTs should be enough to put somebody in handcuffs and take their freedom away because of your opinion. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. Oh, and the drug recognition thing, the scrape on the tongue. Let me know how you feel about that. So, alrighty, guys. Take care. Good talking to you.